Craig, good evening from down there in Andalusia. How are you doing?
I'm very good, Mike. Very good. Excellently well. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Good, yeah, very, very well. It's stormy up here. I don't know if it is down there in Spain, but it's been stormy today. Mm.
It's it's been quite windy today, but glorious. But I'm back to London tomorrow, so I'm taking the big coat.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. Very wise. Very wise. So I want to be really transparent with you and just use this 15 to 20 minutes to go through your experience of working with myself over the last 3.5 months. And my hope is really to kind of make awareness around somebody else who's maybe wondering about committing to an alcohol-free coaching program. So it's okay with you. We can jump straight in. And I, of course, have got to know you over this last 3 months. But just for the benefit of people watching this, if you can just explain who you are and what you do.
Yeah, sure. My name's Craig Edwards. I work in business development for a exhibition and events company. So we travel all over the world doing exhibitions, which is great. I sort of work from home, and yeah, and I get the opportunity to go traveling. Just back from Cannes, and this year I've been to Singapore, all over really, Amsterdam, Paris. So it's great. I love it.
Yeah, it sounds really glamorous. It is.
It sounds it, but
Yeah.
the long days walking around exhibition halls sometimes lose their glamour. But no, it is good fun.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So, what was your biggest challenge or frustration before we started working together?
I think really predominantly for me is that I had been through sort of extended periods of not drinking when training for events. Last year I did an ultramarathon, which was great fun, and so in the lead up to that, I abstained from drinking just for recovery and performance really. And but then afterwards, once I sort of reached a target, I tend to slip back into old ways, and get back, start drinking again. And I just found it was really sort of affecting my recovery and my well-being. And I just thought, the main thing for me to do was to not slip back into old habits and to build the foundation to live an alcohol-free future, really.
Yeah, great, great. Thanks for sharing that. And yeah, a lot of big whys there. What made you decide to work with me and invest in the program based on what you've said? What was the one thing that kind of like made you kind of want to invest?
I mean, I was referred to by somebody else, which I always value massively. I think referrals are really important. And it was I don't look at it as it's an investment in yourself, and that's the best investment you can ever make, really. And once we had a conversation, we had an introductory call, which was really good. I felt that we sort of we got on, and I think that's important as well. And then what you were sort of proposing and how we were going to go about the course was something I really identified with, and I was really wanted to engage in it. So I think it's given me those foundations and building blocks to carry on now, which is great.
Great, thanks, Craig. Yeah. And what were your initial thoughts or feelings during the first few weeks of working together?
Um, yeah, I was really impressed with yourself and your outlook, and also the accountability aspect of and the backup of having you on the WhatsApp, and there was never too much trouble. You'd always jump on the call if needed. I had a sort of quite a big trip to Ibiza at the start of my course, and it really helped having you there. Just to send a message or look at which alcohol-free beer I found, and this, that, and the other, and just that sort of back and forth was great. And it felt like I was texting a friend, but also that it was somebody who had my back and knew what I'd been through and was going through, so could help me and give some sort of good advice and tips, and it all went swimmingly, which was great.
Yeah, thanks, Craig. There was a lot of texting and it was great. And I know you really engaged with that as well. And it was really nice to see you was checking on a daily basis, which, I don't expect that from a client, but I think that made it a lot kind of better. You was really committed and engaged to that. So yeah, I was just there to support the process, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you got annoyed with my sunrise photos every day.
Yeah, sunrise photos every day. Just a little bit, I think, at the end. I was thinking enough's enough,
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Well, it
it
was
was
that.
getting
Sorry.
towards gloating, but it wasn't. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and the weather wasn't quite as sunny here all the time on Anglesey, so yeah, yeah, but yeah, no, yeah, I did enjoy the photographs. I think you're a great photographer, by the way.
oh, thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's one of my passions I'd like to do more of in the future. Definitely, I did a photography course a long time ago, but then that's when you had cameras, and now it's all
Yeah,
on your phone. So it was
this is it.
learning how to use a digital SLR, which now I'm sure you can pick them up fairly reasonably. But yeah, it's something I'd definitely like to do
Good
more of.
stuff. Yeah, what specific breakthroughs or results have you experienced since starting the program?
I mean, for me, definitely, um, there's been big change in my outlook. My mood is much more regulated. My sleep's a lot better. Sort of pillars of health certainly have improved. As a great side effect, I've lost a stone and a half of weight. Because my training hasn't changed at all. And I've stuck to, I basically did exactly everything I did pretty much before, playing a lot of paddle, strength training 3 times a week, etc., etc. But the one element that we've removed is the alcohol, and as a result of that, in 10, 11 weeks, I've lost sort of a stone and a half in weight, which is great. So the body's feeling much better, the knees, everything. There's no negatives at all.
Yeah, and you're looking great. I mean, it's interesting. I'd love to see pictures before and after. And I know your weight journey had started long before we started working together. And I think you've kind of just had those marginal gains at the end. But yeah, I just think you look so much better. I mean, you didn't look bad before, Craig, but it feels like you look better than you did when we started working together.
Yeah, I mean, I feel it as well, and it's sort of odd. People really notice it as well. They sort of see it in your eyes, and your eyes sparkle a bit more, and your skin, and and just you sort of become a bit more. I guess you radiate a bit more positivity as well, and people are drawn to that, I think. And in my job, I have to talk to people a lot, at events and the like, and my confidence has grown in without the I used to think I used to have to drink to be confident, but now actually the truth is that my confidence comes from within, not from the alcohol. So it's helped me in my work, definitely. I think we discussed, as I got a big deal in recently, and that was really, it was
Mm.
remaining positive and being, having that positive outlook. I think it brings it to you as well. So yeah, it's definitely helped in that respect.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And how have the sessions impacted your personal life? You've just touched on professional life a little bit and overall well-being. So you mentioned the big deal, which I like to attribute to the alcohol-free, but I know you've been working about 4 years, but it just so happened to come off at that time. But
Well,
yeah. Anything else on like personal and overall well-being?
yeah, I mean, definitely sort of personal relationships with my partner and my parents. I'm a lot more chilled. I'm a lot more level-headed. I'm not reactive, or proactive. I'm proactive, not reactive now. It's like if there's a problem, I look for a solution rather than maybe before I would have rushed in a bit. And it would have been a knee-jerk reaction, which then afterwards you've got to sort out. So, certainly in that respect. I've been told I'm a bit easier to get along with now. So yeah, I think that's invaluable. Definitely it's and some relationships have fallen by the way because now Craig's not coming out for a pint anymore, and
Mm.
sometimes but then that's fair enough. I'll still go out if anyone asks me to go out. I'll always go out. I don't have a problem at all, just because I'm not drinking beer with them. And I think people now are warming to that a bit more. So with change comes a lot of goodbyes, I think sometimes, but that's, you get the opportunity to really become your real authentic self. Um, and you might be drawn to different people, or different people might get drawn to you as a result of that. So that, it's all part of the process, I think, and enjoy the process.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Like that authentic self that you just brought up, and sometimes that means that. And I think I'm similar to you. Yeah, I'll definitely go out if somebody asks me to go out. But it's the people that stop asking you to go out because you don't drink anymore. Maybe those are the people that we want to continue sort of hanging out with because maybe it was drink that kind of held the relationships together. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, I 100% agree with that. And if that's the basis of your relationship, then really it's not a relationship based on friendship or affinity. So it's you might probably better off without it anyway. So
Yeah.
but yeah, certainly, and also the amount of people that when they find out you're going on this journey, you become really interested. And they're oh, so why did you start? And how are you feeling? And and I think when I've done this similar things in the past, I've been a bit more preachy. I've been, look at me, I'm
Mm,
doing this. Whereas now
mm,
it's like I'm doing this for me. I'm not doing it to show other people I can do it. So I think
mm,
you've got a lot more chance of success if you're doing it really for you rather than to prove somebody else wrong.
yeah.
And once you get talking to people about it, a lot of them become very curious.
Mm,
Oh, I've always wanted to do that, and the amount of times I've said, oh, I wish I could do that, and well, you can.
mm,
It's I can put you in contact with a person with the tools to help you to do it. So it's anyone can do it, but you just got to have the help and support behind you. I think that's really important.
yeah, 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 definitely. And was there one moment, Craig, during our time working together when kind of like things sort of clicked?
Yeah, I mean, I think we spoke about this. But it probably came a bit earlier than the sort of normal, like the 90 days for me. But and I just really embraced it and was really enjoying it anyway. But as I think I mentioned, I was over in France last week for work, and I just been to the supermarket to get some supper and just some bits and pieces. And I got back to my room and I was like, I didn't even walk down the wine aisle. I didn't even check out, if there was any nice Nouveau Beaujolais or whatever going on.
Mm,
It was just a completely didn't even register to me. And I thought, well, that's a massive change. Whereas before, I would have always gone and checked it out, and then once you're in that wine aisle, you're then having the war in your head. It's about, oh, sorry,
mm.
should I get a bottle of wine or a couple of beers or whatever? It didn't even bother me. It just didn't even register. So yeah, I think that's just a massive bonus.
Yeah, yeah, it's great, isn't it, when things like that happen? But you're right, for you, it seemed really early. It must have been within 30 days you were kind of, yeah, this feels like this is going to be me moving forward. And I'm like saying, just, just kind of, you don't have to put yourself that much pressure, but this is it, this is it. I'm alcohol free
Mm.
now, kind of thing. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I think I was, I did mention that, I was conscious of the fact that sometimes if you get a bit far ahead of yourself, you can sort of maybe set yourself up to fail. But so I was conscious of the fact that sometimes I think if things are going too well, why? But
Yeah,
that's
mm,
the catastrophist in me sometimes. But
mm,
that didn't happen. The 100 days came and went without a hitch, and I'm cracking right on and looking forward to my Christmas party and uh, my holiday, and then Christmas as alcohol free. So I can't wait.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I know you mentioned catastrophizing then, but you probably put yourself down because I know working together, you're very psychologically aware, and that probably really helped you through your journey as well.
Yeah, definitely. And there are some decent sort of reading books out there. I think we've spoken about Atomic Habits. I think that's a book
Mm,
I really enjoy, and not just for this, but for everything in life. It really really helped me. And also, when you very kindly sent the book over the journaling, that really helps as well because it's just that day to day reminder of what you're doing and the reason you're doing it, and putting your own words to it. I think really really helps.
mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, what would you say to someone, Craig, who was on the fence about working with me to start their alcohol-free journey?
To coin the phrase, just do it. That is what you've got to do. I think and you've got everything to gain. And just find out a bit more about it. You've got somebody who knows what they're on about. They're going to guide you and they're going to give you good advice. And you're going to feel better for it. And I think, like I said earlier, the best investment you'll ever make is in yourself. So just trust the process, stick with it, and enjoy it. I think that's enjoy it as much as you can. It's quite daunting sometimes if you haven't. If you think that everything in your life is going to change because of this one thing, it doesn't. It just everything becomes easier. Really, that's
Mm,
it's. I think that's a really important thing to take into account, and your life will change, and you get the opportunity to become your authentic self. And I think that's invaluable, really. You
yeah,
can't put a value on that.
yeah, absolutely. And yeah, really interesting point. To enjoy the process, because we kind of like enter these things. Well, I certainly did, thinking, actually, this is going to be a really tough time because we only see that life with alcohol and how it was such a comfort blanket for such a long time, and what's it going to feel like without it, and all these sort of things running through our head, and the distance we get away from it, we realize actually it was never a comfort, it was never support. Actually, life is easier, as you say, without it in every way.
And as I think I said to you, we always suffer more in imagination than we do in reality. So that's and and that's so true. You'll build things up, and is it going to be everything that's expected? What's going to happen? But yeah, I think it's you just take it sort of one day at a time and trust the process, and just try and enjoy it as much as you can.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Well, yeah, it just leaves me to say thank you so much, Craig, for working with me these last 2.5 months, and thank you for participating in this testimonial as well.
My pleasure, and thank
Thank you,
you.
thank you so much. Good night.